ever hide behind any wall of who you really are. Follow your heart.
Wow! Good golly, could Bitcoin finally be setting up to get a burst above this 50-day exponential moving average on the daily chart? Price continuously gets pushed down off of this, but as well we're finding so much support and we continuously bounce day by day in this smaller region. When will we get a move, and specifically what has to happen for that to be the case? We're going to zoom back and show you exactly the last time this happened. There's something very similar actually to what just happened over the past 6 hours on Bitcoin's daily chart. Wow, and as well, this ascending channel, bear flag, whatever you want to call it, is still holding critically. There are a lot of charts saying that Bitcoin is now finding resistance where it was finding support, but based on this channel, it's just still bouncing around and there's not a decisive move one way or the other. And as well, potentially, you know, as this week is finally starting to get kicked off, Bitcoin could actually be finding some concrete support above the 100-week moving average. As you can see right here, wicked down all the way to 67.60, but it looks right now as if it really does want to find support there. This would be the 5th week in a row that Bitcoin has really just flirted with this 100-week moving average. Definitely the biggest moving average on the weekly right now to take a look at. And if we break above this finally for good, then we could get a big price explosion. And as well, we'll take a look at this, the most potentially important chart there is for Bitcoin over the next few years, the S2F, the stock to flow model combined with the Reddit rainbow chart. We're going to look into detail and give you exactly what that might mean for Bitcoin's price. Let's get juicing. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another extremely awesome episode of Bitcoin Today. It looks, as I'm recording this video, this could change by the after hour later today, but it looks as though Bitcoin really does want to push and break above this very key level, specifically the 50-day exponential moving average on the daily chart. Something similar happened the last time that it bounced off of a key moving average and bounced to touch the 50 like we're seeing right now. The last time that happened, we saw a $3,000 pump. Now, could that be happening now? There's a lot of momentum, but let's actually take a look on the charts and see what it would take for that to actually happen. And as well, so much exciting stuff with this stock to flow combined with the rainbow chart, because the stock to flow model creator Plan B was getting a lot of heck for, you know, not being at its projected price target right now, which is around $50,000 per Bitcoin. Clearly, that's not the price of Bitcoin right now. However, combined with the 2014 to now Reddit rainbow chart, combines to make the ultimate mega moon chart. Okay, so we're going to be taking a look at that and be showing what the price predictions will be by the end of this year. And also we'll take a look at every year for the next few years. Absolutely crazy. So guys, if you want to enter for this ledger, make sure to leave a comment below, smash the dings, hit those comments, make sure you and your mom subscribe, and let's delve on in. Wow, if it isn't my chungalungas, guys, let's get into these charts here. I want to start off on the weekly because we are seeing some good momentum. This right now is potentially our 6th. If we get a close, remember we're only halfway through this weekly candle. If we get a close here, we could be seeing our 6th, and it just turned red as I said that, our 6th consecutive green candle. But what would need to happen is we would need to get a bounce right here at this 100-week moving average. As you can see here, guys, this candle is very, very indecisive. It's literally not even a candle right now. It's completely a wick because of how much we've been trading in this very small range. It's basically been where it's at right now the majority of the time. And you can see if we go back 1, 2, 3, 4, the past 4 weeks, this has been an area that we've just been sitting right on, consistently getting rejected off this area. But there's two options, okay? We talked about the bear scenario for the past few weeks, a pushback to the 200, which is like 54, actually about 5,500 US dollars now, or we finally get a breakout target, and that could be absolutely explosive. It might not even stop at 8 or 9K. It could go much higher than that because there's so much momentum. It's like a pressure cooker, right? Just been getting cooked down. The potentials are absolutely limitless. But first I want to show you this chart, guys, as well. This is absolutely insane. 3 days. These charts still are just, I don't even change these charts. For everyone that watches this channel every day, you know these are the same charts you see basically every day, but every day something similar happens where it just bounces off of the key area. So this descending line right here, you can see 2 days holding support, and now we got to bounce off of it on the 3rd day. Okay, so absolutely wild. This is still playing such a key role for this pattern. And a breakout target could actually bring us all the way up to some certain levels here. But specifically, I want to show you this. The last time that we had a bounce off of the 50-day moving average up to the 50-day exponential moving. So the 50-day simple moving average to the 50-day exponential moving average, you can see that very clearly here. You see we found some resistance right on this green line, and you see it bounced. And when it did bounce, it went straight through the 50-day EMA. So there's a few things that have to be in play for this scenario to even replicate itself. And so far we have a replication of it on the chart we're looking at now. The only thing we haven't seen yet is a pump significantly to really just smash through that 50-day EMA. So we have the 50-day SMA right here, and as soon as we got to it, we found resistance for 3 days, and then we broke through it, and as well, the 50-day exponential got absolutely crushed with that. So are we seeing a similar thing here? Well, we just spent the last 2 days finding support on this 50-day simple moving average, and currently it's bouncing very strongly up to the 50-day exponential again. Now, again, this is what we were saying for the past few weeks. The 50-day exponential, if we're going to get a breakout, this is what needs to be broken. Now, we've had like 3 rejections over the past 3 months. We've had one here just a few days ago, back here as well, back at the beginning of April. And then we had one as well that initiated a massive dump right around the March 7th, the beginning of March there. And those have been the 3 major rejections there. So are we seeing potentially the formation of a fourth, or will we finally be able to maybe break this? So the more we test this, the weaker this should become. The more we keep testing this 50-day exponential moving average, the weaker that should become as resistance. So as long as we keep getting pushed back down here and finding support where we need to, so far it's been very key. We found it on this structural line, but also right at the 50-day moving average. So 2 things holding us up there. I think that's very important. But again, we need to break like the 71, literally exactly where we are right now. So if we zoom in, you can see we're literally just bouncing right at the moving average. So that's very clearly resistance there. But then if you look on this chart, again, this is where we're finding significant support. So again, if we break through here, we already said it's like 64. Actually, by now it's 6,300 would be a good level of support here. But we just fail. We just continuously keep finding support on this line. This has been crucial for the past entire month of April, going back to April 2nd. It's been resistance. Okay, you can see all of this area is clear resistance right here, and this has all been clear support. So 50% of the time, it's just, 50% of the time it's been support, 50 it's been resistance, but 100% of the time of April, this line has been the line that we have to look at. So the story of April is this line is really just like the battle zone, like the battlefield right here, support and resistance, unable to break through it, and when it does, unable to break below it. It's just been such a crunchy zone, and nothing is really happening here, but we need to break out of this area if we want to see anything. Again, you can't really see where the breakout would be on this chart because it doesn't show it, but the breakout would be here, right on this daily chart, right at this 50-day exponential moving average. And as well, you can see the same thing here, you guys. This is uncanny. This thing literally just completely showing you where every level of support and resistance is, and it consistently finds support and resistance all the time. And just recently, this is on the 4-hour chart, for the past few days, we traded right on this line here, going all the way back to April 20th. It's April 22nd now. We traded here for like 2 days, and we bounced up. So we could even see a move up to 72.59. Similar like we see here, where we break slightly above it. It would be like right here on the chart. This is where that would be here, exactly where this one was, and then it gets pushed back down. But if we want a true breakout, we need to get completely above that. Wow, guys, now this is super exciting here. Most important chart ever here, published on Bitcoinist.com by Tony Spilotro. With Bitcoins having less than 1 month away, investors are losing faith in the stock-to-flow model. So because the stock-to-flow model actually predicted $55,000 per Bitcoin at this time, so that's why people are losing faith, because clearly Bitcoin is not $55,000. Now, the two charts have been combined for what may be the most important Bitcoin price chart crypto investors ever lay their googly eyes upon. Now, this is huge news. What do you guys think about this? One of the asset's most widely discussed and cited valuation models, the stock-to-flow model, popularized by Plan B, suddenly became the subject of ridicule, as clearly his predictions were not correct. It's nowhere close to $55,000. This actually says by May 2020. This actually says by May 2020, so we're not at May yet, but we're less than a week. We're basically a week away from May, and we are just a small fraction of $55,000. So I don't think anybody in their right mind expects Bitcoin to go from, $7,000 to 30, 40, 50,000 US dollars over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Obviously, nobody really expects that. However, when you combine this old Bitcoin rainbow price chart from Reddit with it, you see something very interesting. We'll actually show you exactly what that combination looks like. because the article doesn't show it specifically here. Bitcoin's halving does indeed reduce the supply of Bitcoin miners received for validating the blockchain. So the lack of supply entering the market causes demand to outweigh what's available, causing the price to spike. So this is a chart that's been circulating on the Bitcoin market subreddit since 2014. Okay, it's called the Reddit Rainbow Chart. It's absolutely huge. I'm sure you've probably heard about it before here. But have you heard about this combination? This is huge. This new stock to flow rainbow chart uses the colored bands to indicate support and resistance, and on the stock to flow's expected trajectory for Bitcoin's price based on the asset scarcity. So this is the chart here, but this only goes out to like 2019. So this is a chart showing what it would look like going into the future. So what this actually shows is by the end of this year, it would make a lot of sense if we're testing the upper limits for Bitcoin to be pushing. Actually, that's much higher than I initially thought when I looked at it. The upper limits of the end of just this year, so about 8 months from now, the upper limits are actually showing this around $600,000 per Bitcoin. Now, clearly, Bitcoin didn't even go very much into the upper limits back in 2017's bull run. It went pretty high up there, but it didn't go up into that red area here. So in this area, let's actually be very cautious. Let's say that Bitcoin might only go into this orange or even light yellow area. So just at the end of 2020, if that were to happen, where we only go into the orange to light yellow, that would be anywhere between $100,000 per Bitcoin to about $300,000 per Bitcoin. So what this chart is showing, the stock to flow combined, so it's combined, it's called the Bitcoin stock to flow rainbow chart. Okay, the love child of the two charts. Those two combined, okay, and being cautious, but also slightly bullish, could put us at anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000 per Bitcoin, according to this chart. And it would be okay for that to happen anytime within the next 8 to 12 months, which is absolutely insane. Now, again, that's like the pretty bullish scenario. The ultra bullish scenario would be about $600,000 per Bitcoin. But let's actually even pull it back a little bit. Let's say, because that seems really high, let's even just do it in between the yellow and the green. That would put Bitcoin at about, it looks about like $80,000 to $70,000 to $80,000 per Bitcoin within the next 8 months, if this would go pretty crazy right here, which is absolutely nuts. So that's not even, I mean, according to this model, that's not even that insane. So let me know what you think about that below. Do you think that's absolutely crazy? That does seem very high, but with these adjustments and with this rainbow chart, this is what the data is showing. So very interesting stuff. Guys, if you can't wait for one of these giveaway ledgers, then make sure to check out the comments or description below to get your ledger. There's some really nice discounts going on the site, guys. And as well, if you're interested in more TA, always check out T for the love child of knowledge and charting all in one. Discount code 420 for $35 off. Sale ending today.